And they began to show him how very important it was to balance your life out. And then what he did was he went back to his very first wife and apologized. He said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't understand. I didn't see what you were saying. I thought you were working against me, and I could only see things the way I saw them." And she said, "I forgive you." Now, he had a bad relationship with the oldest daughter because he was never there like she wanted him to be. I don't mean there every single day, just 30 minutes out of a day. And sometimes if that can't happen, maybe 30 minutes every 2 or 3 days. And he just was never. And so she was angry. She had a lot of resentment toward him. And he just kept writing her all while she was in college. She would never respond back. But the whole 5 years she was in college, he written her every week. And finally, when she came home and she got ready to get married, she said, "Daddy, would you please marry me?" And he couldn't believe it. He said, "Well, I thought you hated me. You never written back." She said, "Actually, I thought that was so nice of you to write me. It means you took the time, just 5 or 30 minutes of your time every week to spend time with me." And she said, "That's all I wanted when I was a kid. And that meant more to the world than me." Their relationship started mending back together. So it's very important that the decisions you make sure that you can try to balance it out. Because the same God that called us to, whether it's preach, whether it's to evangelize, whether it's to teach, whatever it may be, want us to be exclusively a part of our family, to be connected to them, and to know them, and to learn to know them, and get to know them. It is very important. As well, when you make a decision, before you do it, you want to pray. It's very important that if you're a Christian and you're trying to make a decision, that you pray. Because one thing that prayer does is it gets the me out of us. What about me? What about me? What do I want to do? Unless you're praying, "Lord, bless me, and Lord, show me what I need to do so that I can have more of what I want." You don't want to pray selfishly. It's okay to pray for you, but you want to pray that God enlighten the eyes of your understanding and help you in your decision making, so that you can see what it is you need to do that's best for you and your family. Whether it's coming to moving, whether it's coming to discipline your children. Some people have to pray about that. And then what you don't want to do is don't allow others to influence your decision. It's good to seek wise counsel, but I don't mean people who just are either nosy people or just want to tell you what to do because they feel like their decision is the right one. Well, guess what? You are a person too. Prayer is a divine direction. So you want to acknowledge God so that He can direct your paths. This way, most people feel more at peace. And you want to be assertive in your decision making when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your job, when it comes to your children. You want to be assertive in those areas because you want to keep them. If it's your finances, you want to be able to make the decision to balance out your budget. And if you've done wrong or perhaps mismanaged something or made a mistake and wind up having to pay extra on something because of it, you don't want to avoid run from it. You want to take on that, understand what happened so you won't do it again, and sit down and write some type of time management plan or financial management plan, some type of goal, so that you can begin your great decision making. Because once you begin to accept the responsibility for your life and being responsible for your life and in your life, part of it is making the right decision making. This is called living your life full. And you don't want to be manipulated by people, because some people are only out for their good. We might have family members like that. We might have friends like that. We might have people who see that you're doing something that perhaps they couldn't do or would want to do but don't want to apply themselves, whether it be schoolwork, whether it be trying to train your children, and they see that even though they want that, they're not applying themselves for it, and they could just be very manipulated, trying to tell you something that really isn't wise at all for you. So you want to listen to wise counsel, to people who are there for your good, who are going to benefit you. And just because they're there for your good and want to benefit you doesn't mean you do it. You want to think about your decision, pray about your decision. Sometimes you want to rest concerning your decision, especially if it's deciding on whether it's to marry this person or where it's to move even across side of town. You want to be the ruler of your life in both. And when I say ruler, I mean direct your life. If you're a Christian, of course you want to present your body as the temple of the Holy Ghost and ask God, present your body as a temple, and ask God to direct your path. But really, God gives us freedom, free will, and you still have to choose to direct your boat. You don't want to make foolish decisions and then say that you have too much to handle, because sometimes we can put too much on our own selves. You want to listen to that gut instinct when say, don't do this, that's not a good decision. It's very wise to pay attention to that, because there are consequences for your actions. Whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you got to remember the decision you make, good or bad, is going to have consequences. And if it was a good decision, you're going to reap the benefits of that. If it was a bad decision, you're going to reap the benefits of that. And you always want to go to God for yourself instead of always having people to go to God for you. So it's important to establish a relationship with the Lord, to read your Bible, whether it's just 2 minutes a day or 5 minutes every other day. But if you really want to grow, it's important to maybe do some journaling, and once or every 2 days, or take time to read it, maybe at night for 30 minutes or while you're in the shower, so that you can understand the Bible for yourself. You also want to get informed about your decision, whether it's researching it or thinking. Say, for example, if you choose that you want to get married, how is this going to benefit me? I'm not saying be selfish and say, how is this going to benefit me? You want to say, well, if I marry this person, how is that going to benefit me? How am I going to change for the better? Instead of, okay, I am marked by their beauty, I am marked by how they present themselves, because pretty soon that presentableness is going to wear off. Even though they can be beautiful and well into their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, some people try to keep that up and try to look very beautiful. But you also want to look at the heart. How can I put up with their heart like this? Do I want to have to deal with them fussing all day long and all night long? Because sometimes you can marry people that are Christians and be unequally yoked. As far as, do they have the same values as me, the same morals? There are some Christians that believe that as they work, even on the job, that if something is there that they want, they can just take it. Because they'll say, I'm an heir of God, bless God, I can take this. And then walked off, and they don't consider it stealing. Whether it's $5 they see on that table at work or 10, they would do that. Do you want to be connected with somebody like that? Do you want to be connected with someone that's believe in cooking, but Once you get married, maybe a year or 2 years later, it changes and you got to do all the cooking. Excuse me. Or do you want to work with get married with someone that's going to work with you and want to grow emotionally and mentally, who's just not looking for benefits for them when they marry? Because today people are in marriage for a totally different reason. And not everybody wants to mentally and emotionally grow nor learn. So you want to look at all of that and see that it's more than just marriage, because if you really mean death do us part, all of that is taken into consideration. You want to consider those things. Okay, so we're getting ready to conclude the episode, Living Your Life Full, episode 3 final. And it was about great decision making. That was we spoke about. And hopefully this has benefited you some and helped you some. So please remember, in your decision making, you want to pray about some things. Look at how is this going to benefit you. And if you have a family, how is it going to benefit them or go against them if you make the wrong decision? Because the wrong decision sometimes can be irreversible, depending. Because had you married that person and say you're divorced now, had you known some things about them before you married them, would you have done it? If you knew, say for example, if you had someone that didn't know how to accept rejection or that was emotionally disturbed. I'm not speaking about people who may have an emotional problem when it comes to learning to adjust, or what is learning more about themselves, how to respect people, or whatever. I mean, who have some major emotional and mental problems when it comes to just, they gotta either be with you all the time or they're just going to follow you and stalk you. If you know that and that's going on in your life, or would you have married them? So you want to be patient in things like this. Think about it and do what you think is best, but seek wise counsel and not let people manipulate you because of something they think you should do or they want you to do, because it's your life. They have their life and you've got to live ultimately with your decision. Make some great decisions for yourself today, every day. This is Living Your Life Full, episode 3 final. We want to say thank you for tuning in. We're getting ready to close the show now. And for those of you who need encouragement services, free encouragement services, you may email us at services@encouragementindietrauma.org. For those of you who are more comfortable with calling us, you may do that at 1-866-524-4828. Again, that number to call us for free services of encouragement or to find out more about us is 1-866-524-4828, extension 2836. Our main number is area code 419-956-4172. Again, our main number is area code 419-956-4172. If you wish to not use the 800 number, we have some websites. One is encouragementindietrauma.org, encouragementindietrauma.org, and encouragement.jigsy.com, ecourage.bravesites.com as well. You can always visit our blog at javvi.bravejournal.com. You can also download our toolbar at Encouragement Blossoms, BLOSSOMS, services.ourtoolbar.com. May you have a blessed, wonderful day.